How you guys doing? Welcome back. Today is 11/21. Happy Thanksgiving week for you. It's going to be a good week for everyone. Bless or count your blessings. Be happy. It's going to be a good week, I think. If you are new, welcome. We're going to be talking about technical analysis. Now, technical analysis starts off basically with supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, and the vortex indicator when I'm doing it. Now, technical analysis is probably 1/8 of what I do to be successful in the market. You have risk versus reward. You have technical analysis, fundamental analysis, mental analysis, making an actual trading plan, measuring your goals, watching macro markets, and of course being consistent. Those 8 things is what makes most folks consistently successful, and again, just mitigating their risk. If you enjoy this content, the class that I provide for free, that's right here, you'll also enjoy quite thoroughly, I assume. I could be wrong, but I think you're going to enjoy it. Also in the description box down below, my community is still available. Come check us out. If you enjoy what I do here, you would love what I do there. 5 newsletters in the morning, 5 newsletters at night. Early video access is there as well. You have a whole bunch of great stuff. You have an alert channel that has high volume stocks pull from it. It's a whole algo thing. It's pretty dope. A whole bunch of great stuff in there. I'm actually gonna make an intro video for it, so again, stay tuned for that if you want to know more information. But again, description box down below, you can find it there. Third and second to last, it appears in my docket that I've written down right there, is that if you enjoyed my picks from today, check out yesterday, or I guess Thursday's picks as well. They're going to be right there as well. Whoa, right there, ready to go. There's 8 other plays that I think are pretty good. Check those out there. Lastly, in the description box down below is my journal. All the plays that I call here, that I call with my price targets myself, my stop losses that I'm going to use, all those things are in the description box. The journal keeps track, shows what I do works in my greatest opinion, and I think you can really enjoy it itself and check that out to at least have some validity behind what I'm doing. Go back, check everything that's important to me, that you know that I'm actually trying my best to be transparent as much as possible. Lastly, I usually do this during the video, you're going to see 2 white dotted lines and a red dotted line on the screen. That's volume profile. That video is right here. I don't have all the time in the world to describe this particular technical tool, but again, I think it's really good. I'm going to get all the points out the way in the beginning. With that being said, 8 great stocks I'm watching this week. With that being said, let's get right into it. So first is AEHL. If you need help with my technical analysis beyond just this being volume profile, these 2 lines here, we have our support right here at 260 and our resistance right here at 305. Resistance is orange, support's white. Supporting trend's going to be golden, resistance trend's going to be orange and dotted as well. AEHL, we actually called right over here. It went kerchoo for about 50% before. We're trying to get another one of these now big spikes. Now again, it does dip down, which makes me a bit nervous, and we've had lower highs across the board until recently. So not overly worried of it breaking down, but as Peter Lynch said, how low can the stock get? They can get to 0. So let's not get overly ambitious and let's not get overly excited. We can see plenty of little triangles form across the board here. But right here, anywhere below the volume profile line here is going to be a good value in my opinion. I think waiting makes sense as well into this week. I think financials sold off pretty hard this weekend. The market usually follows suit, and I think that tomorrow may be a bit of a red day we're going to see. But you can see it takes what? 2 days right there to reverse. This whole reversal area took about 8 days. There's no point rushing in. And once we tap that volume profile line, that usually starts that timer. So AEHL, it's going to take a few days probably, but again, it comes risk first reward. I love what I see. It's a really good penny stock. Let's check the indicators together. What's really cool about this channel is I actually don't scan with or use indicators while I'm charting. It's 100% technical analysis. You're going to find out as you get better with technical analysis and just this whole entire thing, that indicators show you 4 things, and I call it MTVV, like the channel with an extra V. We have momentum, trend, volume, and volatility. That's it. And it shows you these things that help you enter a stock, help you exit a stock, help you plan a stock. You don't enter because the RSI is under 30. That's stupid. You have to make sure it has technical strength. And again, it shows you better clarity on certain types of charts. Sometimes they're worthless, sometimes they're great. So if you are brand new technical analysis, you're going to see live what a veteran sees and how I would play these given the indicators. Let's check it out together. So what's cool is the 10 crosses are okay at best. They're all right. I mean, you don't really get much life over the 10 anyways. I mean, it's a really good resistance on the way down. It's good when you break above it. And again, you're sitting here with maybe what? 1%, not even to cross over it. I would wait for a 10 cross to truly go in here unless you really want to buy off a value. And again, the 50s are really good resistance. Once we get over the 50, That's when we start to see some good life. And of course, your big spikes are over the 200. Would I wait for a 10 cross? Sure. Would I wait for a 50? No. So I think you want to wait for a 10 cross here. That's logical. That's fine. I'm not overly excited about it, but it is there if you want to take advantage of it. RSI is at 38, which is pretty good. I mean, it does tap below 30 a lot, so this may have some more room to run down. Hence me saying I'd definitely wait myself. If it gets towards 32, 33, we're good to go. And down here, bulls are low, bears are high. With the vortex, it's pretty worthless on penny stocks. I mean, when it crosses, you have your best runs, or when it bottoms out towards 53. So again, you probably want to buy in towards 53 in the vortex, or when it's just lower, which it is, or when it crosses. So again, we have value here, but it's not perfect. AEHL checks a lot of boxes in my opinion, especially when it comes to penny stock. Sure, you want to see some crossovers. Sure, you want to see a trend line, but not every play is going to be the same. It's like being a surfer, as we always talk about here. You don't get to choose the weather for the day. You don't get to choose how big the waves are. Sometimes the waves are going to take days to get there, and really, you can only trade this stock 1 or 2 times, maybe 3 times every few months. AEHL, right where you want it though. I love what I'm seeing. It looks good. I'd watch list it. Next is AFIN, AFIN, American Finance. And again, financials don't look the greatest at the moment, so it's a good value here. I think the best value is, of course, at $8. Anywhere down here is fantastic. Anywhere above here is where we're going to try and sell it at. Simple horizontal channel play. If we zoom out, we can see it is relatively new, and it's been a really nice uptrend. Now, again, you could be like, oh, here's a nice trend line. I wouldn't put too much emphasis into that at all, if anything, but we can see every time it makes a big move, consolidates, sells off, consolidates, sells off, consolidates, moves up. Every time we have a big move, there's a period of consolidation. So right here, I love what we're seeing. You have higher lows across the board here. Sure, I don't think it's the greatest trend line of all time, but again, if it does get near $8, we have a great entry. So here, you can wait for 8 if you'd like to. You can also try and buy into momentum. I don't like catching falling knives. It's down 9% in like 2 weeks. I don't love that. And again, the reversals are very quick here. See how quick it comes back up? So if you get one more bullish engulfing, there's one big green boy, you may be off to the races. And again, this will break out up or down eventually. But again, earnings overreaction, right to where we want it. It's a great value, easy support play. Let's check the indicators together. 10 crosses are pretty good. I don't hate them. I don't love them. They're fine. And again, your best moves are over the 200. So you want to wait for a 200 cross. Makes very little sense to me here. But if you do buy a 10 cross, that's fine. If you do cross over the 10, then beat the 200, beat the 50, well, now you just have a great long-term hold if it keeps running. But down here, we're buying into value for sure. RSI is at 38. Very good value down here. We also have, again, a not great bullish divergence. I don't really see one forming. Again, if it does hold, that's one, but negative 11 is not great. Bulls are great, and the value here, bears are great. They're too oversold, or overbought here. I love that too. So AFIN, the stochastic, doesn't give me much of a confidence booster, neither do the EMA lines, but that vortex being so low is great. And again, technical analysis takes the cake over what you consider indicators. So I think this is a great looking play. Easy support, resistance play, very low risk, medium reward. I love what I see. I definitely watch listed into this week. Next is EPR making a nice ascending triangle, right? Big ol' move up, big ol' move down, doing its nice triangle kind of shape here, going back and forth between here, having bulls buying in higher, and 55. The trend line, as we can see, has been higher lows across the board, and now we're starting to form a brand new nice one right here. I love to see that too. POC may be where it hits for support play. If it does come down farther, 48 is going to be a fantastic entry for value. I think if it does break down farther, well, looking at 46. But right here, trends going up, plenty of hits, supports holding, a green boy right before we exit the market, earnings overreaction, big dividend payouts, that's pretty cool. I love what I see. Great value here if it does make a big move up. Can easily see 10, 11%, risking maybe 2 or 3. A good 4 to 1, 5 to 1 odds here. I love what I see. Let's check the indicators together. We can see the 10 crosses are pretty good, right? At least for breaking even, they're pretty good. When it comes to the 50 crosses, also really good. And of course, that all happens over the 200. I'd wait for a 10 cross myself if it was a little bit lower. I don't want to give up 2% of a 10% move. That's 20%. I don't want to do that myself. This is obviously value, but again, if you cross all 3, you can hold for a long period of time. You made the right decision. RSI is at 36. It bounces plenty here. That's a great sign. And again, stochastic, no divergence, but it bounces religiously off of this trend line that's formed on it. Boop, 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 boop. And we're there once again. Another great sign of value. Bulls are low, bears are high. Once again, showing value. Now, you could buy off of a 10 EMA cross if you like to. For me, I like value purchases, and its odds are right there for you. EPR, I'd watch list it. I love what I see. Next is HRTX, hair on therapeutics, hair with a therapeutics play. Extra DD must be done. Again, this is just a watch list show. The extra DD is on you. With a therapeutics play, it has to get done. If it doesn't, you're just being risky. HRTX historically has a very strong support here. It bounces plenty here. Plenty of folks buy in. It bounces before. This is a great looking play. A nice wedge down or channel down right into value. We called it here, and we called it here. It's made 2 big moves so far. Can it do it again? It's a triple bottom, seems to be forming here. And again, the risk here is pretty minimal. If it breaks down for even 3 or 4%, you're out. But a full move here is almost 20, so it's still 5 to 1. This support's holding beautifully. Again, if you can get $9 off a trend, it drops down to this area, fantastic. But again, for a therapeutics play, this is a historically strong support area. It's forming good support. You love to see that. And if it does get a breakout, you change the trend, it could be fantastic. Let's check the indicators together. The 10 crosses are pretty good for day trading. They're fairly worthless when you're below the 50. When you're below the 50, a 10 cross does nothing, but above it, it's pretty good. So would I wait here for one? I would not. But over the now would I wait for a 50 cross? Also no. But if you're nervous, waiting for those work fine. But again, we're buying off a value. That's shown again by RSI is low, stochastic is low, bulls are low, bears are getting tired of being sold. They're getting a bit high here. So HRTX, again, your due diligence has to happen. Your fundamental analysis has to happen. Why is this therapeutics company at such a low price? That has to be asked. But again, the support's there, very low risk, major reward if it does work on your favor. I love what I see. HRTX, I'd watch list it. Next is ORCC. Owl Rock Capital. Again, a very simple support play. Again, it's had really nice. This is a nice little wedge up here that broke down, right? It's been really nice going higher ever since the pandemic sell-off, and now it's starting to consolidate sideways. Sure, you want to see the 13.5s, but again, it's been repeatedly bouncing here for months at $14, $14.05 exactly. Bounce, 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 bounce. And it takes its sweet old time. So anywhere down below the volume profile line, you want to buy in towards 14, 15, that's fine, but the lower the better. Do note how quick the reversals are. It takes 2 or 3 days at most. If this starts to show some green, you may want to ride it all the way up. Then again, you're risking maybe 1% to make 4 or 5%. Are you going to write home about 4% gain? No, you're not. But if you can tell someone I had an 8 to 1 play, a 7 to 1 play, and I printed on that, that's way cool, right? So not every play is going to be a home run. This one's a really good, slow-moving beginner stock, in my opinion. So this is a really good value for support play. You love to see it. POC pulls us higher. Looks pretty good here. Let's check the indicators together. A 10 cross looks good. A 50 cross is okay. Over the 200 is going to be best. So down here, I wait for a 10 cross. Sure, I mean, you can. I personally wouldn't. But if you do cross over the 10, usually worst case here is breaking even with a good stop loss. But anywhere down here, we're buying into value once again. It just bounced at 31. 37 is still fine. Stochastic, negative 60 is good. Bulls are low, bears are high. It checks every box for value play off of support. I mean, it's a super simple play. It's good for beginners, in my opinion. I would definitely check it out. And again, not every play is going to be a 25% winner. We've had these on here plenty of times. But sometimes playing a 0.75 risk to 8 reward is just as good. And again, if you like to have small position sizes and have smaller and lower volatility, this one's for you. ORCC, I definitely watch list it. Next is POAI. This is a big shout out to Transparent Traders Black Box. This is one of their favorite plays. I also love this play as well. POAI, down here, massive horizontal triangle. Hey, look at it. It's the price targets and stuff you can get from my Discord. Big old moves here. Looks really good. Very strong support. Of course, at the 96 here is your best support play. If it breaks down, you get a 96. It's almost even better, honestly. Sure, lower highs, higher lows. Coming into this nice horizontal channel here. I love what I see. It's showing some life once again. It does consolidate for a few days, so you don't really have to rush in here. But anywhere near $1.04 or 96 cents looks really good for a very, very fantastic looking play here. Let's check the indicators. 10 crosses are good when you're over the 50 EMA line. When you're below them, it's going to gatekeep you heavily. Should you wait for a 50 cross? I personally wouldn't. But if you do get that, it just means you made the right decision. Of course, you got to break the 200 eventually, and you get your big runs that way when you get properly stacked. But down here, buying into value makes sense. And again, $1.04, $1.03 is what I want to see. RSI, it's fair. Stock's a bit high. Bulls are getting there. Bears are coming down. We can see obvious life here. It's up almost 7% since Friday when I told the Discord, hey, it looks pretty good. So I think it's a fantastic purchase still. I think long term it makes a whole lot of sense. You just may want to wait for it to come down or have some more left to buy into that momentum. But either way, POAI the next few weeks, next few months into tomorrow, it needs to be watch list in my opinion. Next is SNMP, Evolve Transition Infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. SNMP is a very cheap stock. It's only $1.03, but as of recently, nice higher lows across the board. Boop, 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 boop. Looking really good here. Strong support, nice resistance. POC's holding us here. It's a really nice horizontal play with higher lows. And we can see it comes in this area, bounces plenty. It gapped this whole area it's at now. This is a very pivotal spot on the chart. Not as much as like AFIN possibly, but still a nice place to be at. R is showing a little bit of life, and sure, again, you're risking 6-7% to make about 30. So again, if you can get it lower towards maybe $1.98, it really makes this play much better. I don't hate it here, but I want to see any kind of EMA lines to ride up, but I do want to buy it closer to 97 or 96 cents myself. Let's check the indicators. We can see a 10 cross coming, and it looks pretty good. When you cross the 10, you hold. That's your first step of really showing life in a trend reversal. So if you get that tomorrow, sure, you can buy into momentum. I personally am buying into value, which is lower, but a good cross here is just fine. 41 on the RSI, again, is just fair at best. It's good. It's really good. A lot of bounces happen here. But again, closer to 30 is better, but this is still fun. Stochastic's a bit high. Bulls are showing life. Bears are coming down. You may have to buy into momentum here. I mean, if you really like SNMP, I do like it. I don't love buying into momentum that often, but if you do see it here, and it crosses at 10, they cross at 50, could be a fantastic play. I personally want to see a better value, but I think it's worth watch listing. SNMP, watch list it. I love what I see. Last is USA. Woo! What a ticker name. Into another great horizontal channel here. If we zoom out, we can see it follows the S&P pretty well, and it just kind of goes up with it. And we can see a great, it's a great trend line going up. Boop, boop, boop. Plenty of hits here. Starting to go more sideways, which is fine. But this is a very pivotal support spot, which is holding once again. If we were to buy in now, you're risking 2% to make about 8. And again, 4 to 1 is not bad. But as I said earlier, most consolidation periods lead to ascension and descension. So this does hold and breaks out. Well, you risk 2% to make 12, 14, 18% possibly. So I think right here, very easy support play, higher lows across the board. I just like what I see, looks pretty good. Let's check the indicators together. A 10 cross looks really good. When you get a 10 cross and it holds pretty well, you get a lot of great moves. 50 crosses are pretty good as well, but a 10 cross is fine. Would I go and wait for one? No, it's almost half our profit. But if it does dip to us, that looks pretty good. Bulls are low, stochastics low, bulls are low again, bears are high right here. USA checks every box for another support play, higher lows, POC pulling us higher. It's just a very strong looking trend here. I love what I see. Most consolidations lead to breakouts. So USA looks good to me. I would definitely watch list it. And there you guys have it. I appreciate you guys checking out the episode, staying for the whole thing. It's awesome to see. Have a good rest of you guys' week. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another watch list. It means a lot that you guys are here. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys' day. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.